My name is Joe Fowler, and I'm currently the president of the Minnesota State Building and Construction Trades Council, and we represent more than 70,000 union members, both men and women, working amongst our 15 affiliated trades all throughout Minnesota. Yes, that's over 70,000. A little bit about us: we're a dedicated group, and we're going to continue to make sure that we increase the amount of diversity and inclusiveness within our construction industry, protecting our workforce, both the physical and financial health, and making sure our members have the ability to retire with dignity. What we're here for today is to encourage our elected leaders to do their jobs. They've gotten part of the way there, and I want to congratulate Governor Tim Walz, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and Majority Leader Jeremy Miller on reaching a tentative agreement on a budgetary framework for a $1.4 billion bonding bill. Now we're going to ask you to continue to do your job, finish it, and make sure you pass the jobs bill by Monday at the latest. I'm encouraged by the fact that in this day and age, we still have politicians who can work across the aisle to get the needed work done that is so critical to putting our members to work and the citizens of Minnesota. Even with the incoming money from the infrastructure bill and the investments from Minnesota, it's also important that our elected leaders know it is not acceptable to leave one penny of that money that needs a federal match, or we need to get money there to get the federal match for that infrastructure bill. We need to make sure that we dedicate that nearly $1 billion over the next few years to get the return and the match from the federal infrastructure bill to continue to put hundreds and even thousands more of our members to work over the next decade. There's a lot of work left to do. This is a $1.4 billion framework, and we have more than $5.5 billion in requests coming in from around the state of Minnesota, from communities from every part of the state, with the needs that they have to repair the crumbling infrastructure we have within Minnesota. That's not just our roads, not just our bridges. It includes our wastewater infrastructure. It includes broadband. It includes the replacement of lead service lines that are disproportionately in communities who cannot afford to replace those lines, and it is not acceptable to leave those in service. To talk a little bit about some of what the building trades has done recently, and going back to our passion about making sure that we are an inclusive group, the building trades recently took it upon themselves to fully fund a Building Strong Communities program. And if we have any of those graduates here, I want to give you a hats off, because we just graduated 35 people from a 12-week program for that. That program is supported by all of our affiliates. And we're talking 35 members who will end up in an apprenticeship, a registered apprenticeship program. The gold standard of apprenticeship programs are what we do, registered apprenticeships. 35 people will be working, and we have nearly 100% placement over the last several years in cohorts from that program that we just brought statewide this last year. That program targets women's, veterans, BIPOC community members to make sure everybody has the opportunity to become a middle-class member of society here in Minnesota. So if you want a job with the trades and you're one of those individuals, make sure you reach out in the next year for the cohort, and make sure you try to get involved with one of our organizations, and we'll try to put an opportunity in front of you to make sure that you have a middle-class opportunity to make a middle-class living and the ability to retire with dignity. Now, with that being said, I want to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker is Amanda Heiser. She is an apprentice with Carpenters Local 322. Please congratulate Amanda.
Hey, good morning. As stated, I am a union carpenter with the 322, and I'm so proud to be a brother or sister with all of you. Joining the union was the best career decision I've ever made. I have great living wages now, I have great health care and benefits, and also I think it's the best training I've ever seen. I should be a journeyman by the end of the year, and even before becoming a carpenter, infrastructure was a really important issue. And I want to thank our representatives for investing in infrastructure, which will continue to grow our community, help keep our residents safe, and provide us with jobs. I know my fellow carpenters are ready to get to work, and I look forward to being there with them.
Good job, and thank you very much for that story, Amanda. Our next speaker I want to introduce is Vanessa Kaiser. She's a journeywoman with Local 563 Laborers Union, which I'm also a proud member of.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Vanessa Kaiser. I live in Buffalo, Minnesota, and I'm a proud female laborer of LIUNA Local 563. It is so important for me to be here today that I have taken time off work to join you all. I am a journey worker and extremely proud to be able to support both of my kids as a single working mother. I left the healthcare industry after several years when COVID hit and to become a laborer, and this also happened during an uncertain time and major life transition for me and my kids. Joining the Laborers Union has given me the opportunity to live a healthy lifestyle, to be able to raise my kids and truly make it on my own. I am thriving as a female in a male-dominated industry and earning respect from my colleagues, showing them I have what it takes to be a laborer. Whether the sun is shining or whether the sun isn't shining or if it's pouring rain, I'm showing up early to work every day and I'm ready to go. But even as a good worker, I was just laid off last Friday and wasn't sure where my next paycheck was coming from. Thankfully, with the help of my union, I was able to quickly find new employment immediately. Public construction projects like those funded by the bonding bill create entry points and stable career opportunities for women and people of color to enter the construction industry and build successful careers. Trade workers like me want to keep working consistently and contributing to the economy. Right now, I and my fellow trades brothers and sisters need bipartisan action from our leaders to get the jobs bill over the finish line by Monday. We are counting on our state lawmakers to get this done on time. Thank you.
Here's your talking points, Vanessa. Another round of applause for our couple speakers right here. Good job, ladies. Good job. I'll now introduce our first distinguished elected leader, House Majority Leader Ryan Winkler. Thanks,
Good morning, building trades. It's time for Minnesota to build big. It's time for Minnesota to build union. It's time to make sure that your jobs are protected, that your wages are paid, and that we do what's right for workers in this state. I have the honor of helping to lead the Minnesota House Democrats. We are committed to passing the largest jobs bill in state history this year. We are joined by colleagues from all parts of the state. We have representatives from the Iron Range and Bloomington, Hermantown, Plymouth, Minnetonka, Edina, Burnsville, the Iron Range, Plymouth. We cover the whole state. We know that your jobs have to be everywhere in this state. We know that when we build union, we build quality, we build safely, and we build middle-class lives. That is what the DFL stands for. That is why we are here to support you. When the corporations come and want to make your workplace safe, we stand with you on refinery safety. When contractors try to steal your wages, we are going to make sure that we have people on the job collecting the information and prosecuting the cases if we need to, investigating and making sure that everyone is paying you the wages that you have earned. If we pass a big jobs bill, if we put taxpayer dollars into constructing projects in our communities, we need to make sure that prevailing wages are paid, that wages are not stolen, and that nobody is taking public money and taking advantage of you in the process. So we are committed to that. We've got a few days left in this legislative session. Your issues are our issues. We are going to be fighting with you till the very end to make sure we pass the jobs bill. And the person who is going to lead us through to make sure that we get that done is the chair of our Capital Investment Committee, the member from Minneapolis, Representative Fu Lee.
Morning, Building Trades. Really excited to be here in front of all of you. As we know, the majority have said we have the opportunity to pass the most robust bonding bill in state history. I'm really excited to see a lot of my colleagues here tonight, and then my partner in crime, Chair Murphy, right there. And so I just want to say thank you to the Building Trades for your commitment to diversity and equity, and some of the work that you have done to promote jobs and training opportunities for women, people of color, veterans, people with disability. Do know that we will be making our commitment to provide high quality jobs that pay prevailing wage in the state of Minnesota for all of you. And so really thankful for all of you being here today, and make it known that we will be working. I'm leaving here to go talk to my Senate counterpart on how could we get this done. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Who's that? No. Well, thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Fu Lee, for that. And the next one up, Governor Tim Walz. Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
Wow. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you to our labor partners, our sisters and brothers in labor who every day make life a little better for every working Minnesotan who come to this Capitol advocating for respect and dignity in work, safety in the workplace, a dignified retirement, and some simple things like having affordable health care for everybody. Those are the issues that you push. Now, just to be clear, it's easy to get distracted in today's world and keep your eyes off the prize, but it's very clear what you're here for today is Minnesota, through I think some darn good management and some hard work by Minnesotans, have got a situation where we have a budget surplus. And that gives us an opportunity to do what we know we need to do. Reinvest in Minnesotans, put money back in the pockets of working people, make sure that our education system's the best in the country, and then make sure we take care of what we have. Roads, bridges, infrastructure, the things that make a difference. Vertical and horizontal projects that we should be building and planning for the next decade that we have. That's what's at stake here. So you're here at the right moment. It's because of this coalition, and it's because of the leadership. Mary Murphy, it's good to see you here. In 2020, we passed the largest job bill in state history, the largest investment in bonding in state history. We can back that up, and we've got an agreement to get a pretty darn good one this time, to make sure that those local jobs and projects are there. And then let's be very, very clear that Minnesota's infrastructure in need of improvement needs to be done by labor because of the quality of the work that it's done and the jobs that are created. So we're very clear about what's coming out of this. And here's the good news. Federal government finally moved the largest infrastructure package in 50 years in the IIJA. And I'm proud to tell all of you, and I see a whole bunch of legislators here who I'm going to give kudos to. Early yesterday morning, we secured a commitment that the state of Minnesota will provide all matching dollars to not leave a single penny on the table. All the federal dollars will be here. And then you have my commitment to ensure those jobs are done right, and they're done to the quality that they need to, and that the workforce is protected. We need to make sure that every penny of that nearly $8 billion that's coming in is paid with prevailing wage and is done by labor work. That's what needs to be done. So you being here will ensure a generation of projects. It will ensure the skilled trades are at the heart and soul of this, that our communities have what they need, that our workforce is respected and protected, and that Minnesota keeps its place as a state that is labor-friendly and always will be. So I have to tell you, I am grateful you're here. We've got about 72 hours to wrap this thing up. These legislators are being fueled on caffeine alone, I think, all night long. But by you being here, it lifts up everybody's voice. It makes it clear why we're here, and I'll have to tell you, I'm going to give a shout out because of the work you did, helping us do the support over at the Department of Labor and Industry. It was this group that ensured that Minnesota had the strongest wage theft legislation. We're going to ensure in this budget, we've got the workforce over there to enforce it and make sure that if people do a day's work, they're paid a day's work, that we make sure they follow the rules. So thank you all, let's get it done.
Thank you, Governor Walz. Another hand for our endorsed Governor, Tim Walz. He's a champion of organized labor for us, and he's done very well, and he's never gone back on what he's told us he would do, and that's making sure our members go to work. Thank you very much again for that. And I'll say, Governor, a personal point of privilege. I'll wait till he's done taking photo ops. Thank you, Governor. Thank you for placing me on your Economic Expansion Council. I very much appreciate that opportunity to make Minnesota a better place. We have one more speaker that's coming from the field, and that is Brittany Bray, who is a journeywoman with Operators Local 49.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brittany, and I'm a heavy equipment operator with Operating Engineers Local 49. I work every day to help build the state's infrastructure. I want to thank the legislature for all their work to invest in our roads and bridges. Those investments provide jobs like mine that support my family. We appreciate all of your work this session to dedicate resources to our roads and bridges. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Brittany. Good job. The next elected leader I'd like to introduce is Senator Scott Newman. Thank you, Senator.
This is why I'm here today. I'm the chairman of the Senate Transportation Committee. And for this entire session, we have got the auto parts sales tax bill that is moving through the legislature. And the Senate version of the auto tax parts bill is nothing but a jobs bill for you folks. And our bill, 100% of auto parts sales tax goes into roads and bridges, 100%. This is my promise to you. This is my promise to you. I will not go to the floor of the Senate with a transportation bill without that provision. 100% auto parts sales tax, dedicated ongoing funding for roads and bridges. That's my message to you. Thank you much.
That's a pretty strong commitment. Thank you very much, Senator. Our next speaker is Senate Majority Leader Jeremy Miller.
Well, good morning. How is everyone this morning? I can't hear you. How are you guys this morning? I still can't hear you. How are you doing? All right, all right. The first thing I want to do is take an opportunity to thank you for all the hard work, all of your efforts in getting important infrastructure jobs done across the state of Minnesota. The people of Minnesota depend on you for the work that you do, and you deserve a big thank you for that. So from us to you, thank you for what you do. As Chairman Newman said, one of the top priorities for Senate Republicans this year was to invest a significant amount of money into transportation. We did that with our bill, and as Senator Newman said, our number one priority right now is the sales tax on auto parts and making sure that transportation, roads and bridges have a reliable and consistent stream of funding. So that's what we're working on right now. Senator Newman's leading that charge. We need your help so we can get that done. We're also working on a bonding bill and a number of other things to make sure that we're putting folks like you to work to get good projects done, core infrastructure projects done across the state of Minnesota. So thank you for being here. Thank you for everything that you do. We still have a significant amount of work ahead of us, but I'm confident we can work together, get it done, and keep all you folks working on these important jobs. So thank you very much.
Leadership to work across both sides of the aisle, and I want to thank the leadership from both sides as well one more time on getting this done. That includes Jeremy Miller, Speaker Hortman, and the governor. Thank you very much. And with that, I also have our next Senate Minority Leader, Speaker Melissa Franzen.
Thank you, everybody, and I'm joined by our Senate DFL caucus behind me supporting labor. Thank you all for being at your house, the Minnesota Legislature. I'm Senate DFL Leader Melissa Lopez Franzen, and I'm proud to be able to be here joining you, taking the time in the closing weeks of session to speak to this great group of working Minnesotans. Thank you for your work. Thank you for keeping Minnesota running, for keeping Minnesota growing, and we need you. The Senate DFL caucus understands that all of you make Minnesota work, and that's why we've always pushed hard to support you. The union members who build Minnesota and your families, we have done so this entire session, fought for you, and we're committed to doing so into the future. That commitment includes standing up for policies that create good union jobs and opportunities that protect working Minnesotans, like prevailing wage, protecting workers from wage theft, and ensuring safety for Minnesotans working in refineries. And it means pushing for a bonding bill that is big enough to make much needed repairs to our state's infrastructure and build projects that create good paying jobs for Minnesotans and all of you. Those investments come back to our state manyfold, and that's why DFLers push for more than $1.4 billion in this year's bonding bill. With a historic surplus, we could have and should have done more. We push to make it bigger because the need is great, and interest rates are only going to increase, making future projects more expensive. We believe that investments in bonding are important, and we will always support them and the jobs that they create. When working Minnesotans are victims of wage theft, we have always stepped up. In 2019, we strengthened the penalties for businesses that engage in wage theft. And last month, on the Senate floor, we pushed to stop Republican efforts which loosen requirements and reduce penalties for employers that commit wage theft. Unfortunately, our Senate colleagues blocked that effort. But we aren't giving up. Recently, we learned that wage theft of over $100,000 was reported for dozens of Minnesotans working on the site of the Vikings Lakes project in Eagan. That project is owned by the Minnesota Vikings owners, and this week we are asking them to help rectify the situation and ensure that such wage theft never happens again on their projects. And as we move to the end of this session, make no mistake, DFLers are going to continue to push for policies to create good paying union jobs, protect working men and women, and improve the quality of life for them and their families. And we'll continue to fight for you into the future. Thank you for being here, and let's pass a bigger bonding bill.
Thank you all. That concludes the majority of our speakers, but we're union men and women, and we want to make sure our voice is heard. And the way we do that typically, whether it's on a strike line, whether it's on a banner, or whether it's in the middle of a rotunda, we do it with some chants. So I'm going to do a couple of these 3 times, and I want to hear everybody in here scream it loud, including a couple shout outs I want to give to Minnesota State AFL President Bernie Burnham and Secretary Treasurer Brad Leto, the first 2 people to call me and ask, how can we support you guys in this? Thank you for showing up. So, I'm going to say, what do we want? And you say jobs. I'm going to say, when do we want them? And you say now. What do we want? Now. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Now. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Now. When do we want them? Now. All right, now I'm going to say union proud. You say union strong. Union proud. Union proud! Union proud! All right, now pass that jobs bill and do your work. For the media, if you want to ask some questions or have some availability to the speakers, just see us behind the stage afterwards. Thank you all for coming. Solidarity is everything. Stick together.